Hello and welcome back to Book Games Spectator. So you might be asking yourself, okay, dang, well, in terms of your shorts, it's been a while since you published any content since the great book game sell-off of 2022. What inspired you to, get back into the marketplace, to get back into spectating? And in my previous video, we've discussed how the ratios of rarity interplay with the fixed values based on how you want to think about and accounting for its weight or its worth, etc., etc. And we highlighted the graveyard. 16 total eruptions, 7,136 total tokens burnt. What brought me back into the marketplace? Eruption 16. It made me say, okay, well, let's check it out. And so we're going to walk through this as a case study, specifically because there is an eruption number 16 happening. At this point in time, it's happening in a few hours, so this will probably have already occurred by the time you're consuming this, but this is an important example to note. So what is Eruption 16? Eruption 16 is a burn event involving 20 winners, first come, first served. Participants must be within the first 20 to burn 3 caviar frame book games tokens while holding 1 champagne book game token. What does that mean? That means within your wallet, in terms of immutable X, you have to have access to 3 caviar frame book games to the extent that you're able to burn them, and that reduces the circulation, right? So from this example, we know that there are going to be 20 times 3, at least 60 caviar frames taken out of circulation. And depending on whether or not the people who are engaging in this eruption event, eruption number 16, to the extent that they have these the champagne frames, they're going to need to acquire those. So those are going to be 20 that are either taken off the market or are forced into circulation in terms of the prices. So since this is an example, let's jump into it. You're going to want to start at tokentrove.com, refresh that, and then we're going to want to go to Book Games. Next, you're going to want to focus on this left-hand side with the attributes, series, spectacular, token frame, and eligible for. So in this context, we're going to focus on the caviar frame and the champagne frame. So we're going to go to token frame, we're going to click champagne, we're going to click, caviar, right? And to double back, just to give you a visual representation, caviar is 5.2% of the total for the specific artwork in question, 0.52 for the specific artwork as a whole, not for the combinatoric multiplier involved in the rarity of the category involving lava gold, bubblegum diamond, hollow, also described as the spectacular. Okay, so let's go back and let's say, okay, so now that we've included the token frame, caviar and champagne, as a book game spectator, how would I proceed to think about this? Well, as you see here, we're going to start with looking at it in terms of the activity. So we're going to say, okay, well, we've been out the game. What's going on? What does it mean? Okay, how do we catch our bearings? We started to catch our bearings using an orientation point for the focal point of interest. The focal point of interest being the champagne frame and the caviar frame. So to get an understanding, we're going to want to start with the activity. What's actually been going on in the marketplace and how are people thinking about this? So we're looking at the sale time 23 hours ago. Okay, well, ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Wait, what's the ratio on that? Gratitude. Oh, what a gratitude. See, when people, this is what happens when people are moving things. I don't necessarily know that this was adequately priced. But again, you can say that all day long, but somebody may have just paid however many. They may have. Is this the first sale all time? Okay, no, this is the all time sale. So yeah, they might have got this with a book, and this is their first time moving this. So yeah, this was a great steal, especially since it's a, what is that called? A JAS, Just Art Surprise. Yeah, that was, in terms of book game spectating, this was a good pickup for whoever got this gratitude. As we see, it's just the next level above or below the special characters, since it really has a lower circulation than anything else. Yeah, and it's aesthetically pleasing, so that's nice. Wow. Yeah, that was good. Okay, so the focus. Okay, wait. Why did we come here today? Well, we're spectating. We're trying to see. Okay, well, people, based on this eruption event, they're looking at caviars and they're looking at golds. So we want to do the same. We want to say, what have people been buying them historically for? Okay, so we're sale time. Okay, this, when was this announced? This was announced on the 28th. It's the 26th. When I think I got like an alert maybe a day or two ago. Yeah, or something like that. So the lead time was definitely not by months, but definitely by days. So let's go to, okay, so here we're at like 3 weeks. Okay, so what was the baseline? About the 80s. So this was the normal baseline, around 80s to 90s. Oh my, oh, 300 for a conviction. But wait, the conviction was, where's the conviction? Yeah, a conviction for, yeah, a conviction hot. Yeah, woo. Yeah, I mean, this is why we spectate, to really just sit back and just consume a conviction hollow moving for $119. But I mean, it's an interesting kind of a meta point of analysis, right? It's easy to say, oh my goodness, there's so much value here and so much value there. But it really depends on your time horizons, right? For some people, it's just like, okay, add it to the ledger. And then we'll come back at a different market cycle. We'll come back when Bitcoin is at a different part of its market cycles in relation to Ethereum, in relation to Immutable X. But for other people, they're like, oh, okay, well, we need that real preferential. I mean, well, yeah, I think you could move it for higher, but it depends, right? That's why you have to do your ratio. Okay, so to double back, we're using this as a case study. We're saying, what made me get back into the market to start spectating, to even know that these things exist again, so I can start um, making my own accounting measures for me to think about how I'm gonna try to engage with this as a market participant. Okay, so we're saying the baseline was about 90. Okay, and then it jumped up to about 150-ish. Interesting. And then you have the 1200s for the golds. But that's interesting. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so we're going to go to the token frame, and then we're going to take away caviar and just only see the champagne. So we're looking at the activity ratio, and we're saying, oh wow, there's a $400 one. Okay, so you might want to think of it as a little bit inflated in relation to this being highlighted, but in terms of the value based on its rarity, you might be able to argue that, especially for this one. But that moved 3 months ago. Okay. So, and then you also have to take into account market cycle conditions in terms of, so where was Ethereum at this time? And that's actually really crucial to kind of think about. So let me pause. Okay, well, welcome back. Okay, so to give a visual accounting mechanism, this is where we're at in terms of Ethereum. Based on this current market proposition, if you will, one Ethereum is worth $3,259 as opposed to what it was worth maybe 9 months ago. Where's 9 months? Okay, something like May, April. Okay, so the point of this example is just to give a baseline to say that these prices are what they are in relation to the underlying rarity, but they are also what they are based on the underlying of the asset, specifically Ethereum itself. So in many respects, that's what makes this marketplace so extraordinarily tricky. There's so many moving pieces, and you really have to be cognizant of it in terms of getting your ratios right, but also understanding where you're at in terms of the market cycle. So, yeah, let's carry on. So, Eruption 16, what's going on with the caviars? Okay, we're getting kind of a baseline. We're seeing, okay, 1,000 something. Okay, let's add back on the caviar, and we're saying, okay, this is the sale time. And let's go to price. Okay, so yeah, so 7 days ago, about the 90s, and then it's ticking up a day. Okay, okay, okay. Oh wow, yeah, not a lot in circulation when you click into price. I think it's only maybe the last 90 days or the last 30 days, something like that. Okay, so let's go to marketplace so we can get a baseline. Okay, so people are looking for to burn I mean, if they want to participate in this specific event, they're looking to burn 3 caviar frames and hold 1 champagne frames. So as a book game spectator, how do I like to think about this? Okay, well, we went into the frames, and for me, I've just taken a step to get back into the marketplace, so I'm still assimilating a lot of data for my own personal kind of notation heuristics. But really, at this point, I would probably take it a step further to focus on like the things that I would either like or not like in terms of, okay, well, if you have to buy something, you want to make sure you buy it for the long haul. All of these different like considerations. Okay, are you flipping this? Well, do you want to buy and hold? Varies. So maybe we say, okay, let's change the spectacular to diamond, right? And then you get like this as an accounting measure. Hold on, let me slow scroll. This is a content consumption journey for those involved. Okay, scrolling a little bit. So I guess this is an aspect of technique that we're introducing, right? So as you play your ratios to get a baseline so you can understand how the value is being held, you can also levy these things against others based on the purported ratio, right? Like for certain ones, a hollow is going to be better than a lava, but for certain ones, the ratio is constant. So you're going to have to figure out those ratios based on what you're looking at. And I think that pretty much wraps up this brief overview in terms of, well, what got you back into the marketplace? Well, a an eruption is happening and it's causing a little bit of market movement. So I figured I'd dip my toe into the water as a spectator, and now I'm saying, oh my goodness, oof, how do I find value in this marketplace? But it's not really necessarily just about finding value. I mean, for me as a content consumer, I'm grateful to be able to kind of have this as an outlet to look at to see, okay, well, what is going on, and what can we kind of learn just based on that as a visualization process. So, until next time, thank you. Have a great week.